welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. We were pretty sad the last time. I'm hoping we can move past what happened. However, the truth is, that could have been us in that farming stacks. And I'm glad it wasn't. So we have to wait 2 days for the ambergris. We have one more dice roll we're going to take advantage of. We could try to get some energy back. That's not really a super great idea. But yeah, I'm Seth on duty. Let's do a safe job. Just for now. There we go. And go to sleep. So hopefully everyone's day is going well. I feel like we're pretty close to completing this game. If you're as excited as I am, leaving a little like in the like section below helps me out a lot. So we still have to wait another day. Let's go up to the hub. Let's explore it one more time, because we're almost done. There we go. Now we're completed this. We got a sleeping berths. Rent a capsule for 60. The only way to sleep on the hub. Hacked off a colony ship and welded to the ring. They are surprisingly expensive to rent. And how much? We actually have a significant amount of capital here. But we were trying to get a goal of 300, I believe. We could buy a whole ship core. So let's keep working. And see how much money I can make in one day here. Just make all the cryo for us. $239. And the reason for that, if I go to this exchange, we can buy a ship mine core for 300 and help our, what's his name? Neovend. We can help Neovend out. Get him out of that poor old vending machine. So one more day, we can talk to the mercenary. Yeah, Ankita, I don't know what happened there. There was no discussion of anything reasonable that happened afterwards. All she said was, "I'm sorry." Okay, Ankita. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Stay silent. Sleeper, she takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly, I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this. And when all you have shown me is kindness, she rubs her face. I'm sorry. Stay silent. For that sleeper that... She stares at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. Now we have a choice. It's okay. What you did was unforgivable. Which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking that was really out of her control. I mean, the man did double cross her. I'll say it's okay. She nods, then looks up to the stars. I've never... She stops herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look, she sighs. Can you come with me? It's easier if... Lead on. I trust her. Ankita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents, the biosphere mountains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You've been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little, at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering glow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin, the smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. I'm gonna follow her. I'm choosing to trust her. Again, if you do differently, you let me know in the comments. You follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for the glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't. But then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We've had a period of extended shore leave on the Eye, and when he came back, he was changed. I assumed he'd just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crewmates double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she is reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it, life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita, from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo-chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Take the chits. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track, and she does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pockets, and you hate them for reminding you of how little a life is worth. Whoa, we got a ton of chits from that. Like over 200 chits. And we have 3 upgrade points. We can't get this one yet though. How about... Let's keep 2 dice even when our condition is breaking. That'll help us a lot in the future. We don't even have to work now for the chits. We have so many. Let's go help our friend with the shipmind core. Let's buy an entire shipmind core. Paz only had 1 shipmind, and you bought it. That makes you her favorite customer. Hell yeah, let's go help our friend out so we can fight the hunter. This is what I'm talking about. Neovend wants to be smuggled out of the dock, and to do that, you'll need to provide a full shipmind ready for imprinting. Here we go. Boom. Neovend is ready to attempt imprinting. They want you to help. Let's do it, Neovend. Sleeper. Must express plan before we begin. Neovend is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Shipmind has no output features. Will be mute until slotted. So you won't be able to speak? What's the plan? The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neovend's anxiety clear. First, imprint shipmind. Then, slot imprinted shipmind into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, we'll track hunter at reach. Tracking will find core nest. Slot shipmind at core nest. Show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke killer. And then killer will kill. Yes. The lights on the vending machine cycle as Neovend prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station will need keys, but yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any questions before imprinting? What's the core nest? Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self, linked to secondary nests, can triangulate from there. Why slot you physically? I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. The lights flicker. Am not like you. Hybrid. Am native to cloud. Easy prey. That's it. Let's start. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle from the hard surfaces of the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neovend, better be quick or Havenage security will be here. Neovend's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms aligned with the ship mind, clunkily scraping against it. Can I help? Silence best. Also, if machine ignite, put out fire. Okay, Neovend, we got you, buddy. The metal creaks as the servos open the ship mind, its layers of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arms of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neovend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind, to copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much. You are a convenient loophole. A way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where, then, would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the ship mind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neovend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest to slot them into. Here we go. I got an achievement. Insert mind. What's the weirdest thing you've ever gotten out of a vending machine? That was the description of the achievement there. I'm of course playing this on Xbox on PC. So we want to deal with the hunter. We're dealing with this. Hunter is constantly tracking you, but with Neovend's help, you may be able to deal with this rogue protocol. Slot imprinted ship mind at nests. So this server unit, the sealed hunter nest. I see, yeah, because there was nests here before. I don't like the cloud. It's very creepy. Oh, okay, we didn't sell the keys. This is good. Unlock the server unit. A mad tangle of wires as thick as your arm crowd around a server unit, sealed shut by a maglock. This must be the place. Give him a key. The maglock pops open and falls away from the unit. You will be able to enter now. Okay. Go into the tangled nest. Hack the tangled nest. Among the web of cables, you find a free port, compatible with the ship mind. It's all Neovent from here. This is one of 3 nests that, once slotted with Neovent's ship mind, will lead you to the Hunter's central data cache. Okay, buddy, do your thing. The servers lie silent. Their data cache is cleared. Nothing left to do at this nest. Okay. Really though? Yeah, we're good there. So that one's done. Let's go to the next one, the atrium. Sealed by a maglock. The atrium flickers with warm, inviting light. The nest has to be inside. So let's unlock it. With the lock gone, the atrium doors can be opened. Boom. Let's go in. Do your thing. Hack the glowing nest. The atrium is strung with cables and lights as if they were decorations. There is a wide choice of open ports. Now only lit with warm glow of the bright market. There is nothing for you here. We still need one more key though. This is an issue because if we do one more hack, we could be in trouble. So we need 3, 2, 4. Here's a 3. Okay, we're gonna encounter the hunter. Hopefully it doesn't kill us. Oh, he didn't come after us. Hey, that's a good sign. The drone bay. An old Solheim drone bay sits behind a maglock. You put your ear to the door and hear an erratic whirring inside. We got really lucky there. Maglock opens, leaving the door free. You'll be able to investigate the nest now. Okay, this is the last one. In the bay, a whirring drone lies on its side, like a beached whale. It must be the nest. Time to find an open port. Boom, there we go. The drone is quiet. Its belly full of cables spilled out across the floor. The nest is empty. Uh-oh. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign, as if they are leading you somewhere. Look ahead. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity. Sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts. Protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data. Sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. Who is this? You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the ship mind in your hand, but in its place is an orrery. A sphere so bright it burns your eyes is surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space. And as you look closer, still you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, flowing like smoke, like dust. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. The Warrens. This is inside the megastructure, so you saw it. Somewhere deep in the tangle of passage and service shafts beneath the low end, the nest of the hunter awaits. These are both extremely dangerous things, so let's go with Warren tracking. Finding the nest should be easy as closing your eyes and letting the cloud guide you. But is it safe this close to the hunter? We'll find out. Ooh, +4 to finding the nest. Hell yeah. The next one, we literally only had 2 shots at this, by the way. Oh no, 1 shot at this. This one's repeatable. But we're gonna find him. We found it. You notice cabling, thick and heavy, running through the dark passages. Follow the cables. Find the source. The core nest. A huge stack of servers thrums in the dark. LEDs glittering like hundreds of eyes. Time to deal with the hunter. Here's your imprinted ship mind. Let's do it. Something happened. Nothing has changed. Has something gone wrong? Whoa. Sleeper, I am here. The voice is soft, gentle, like flowing water. And yet, you recognize it immediately. Navigator. Wow. At first, you struggle to understand what you are looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end, and there, at its center, the ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer. A sphere, spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems, a map. And then behind and above, a figure, hands among the strings like a puppeteer. Neovend? Navigator now, but yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, is a flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. That head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as they speak. Hunter will soon approach. It knows I am within its nest. I'm ready. And then, Hunter is there. Before you can think, before you can speak, entities cease. Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected material. Access prohibited. Hunter's threads surge for you and Navigator. A storm of fine tentacles, searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks which they can crowd into and tear apart. Let's strike it. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by your mind. But replacements keep coming, faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and his spheres gathering there. Data feeding into from the nest, sucked together by the force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, seeking, tasting, their winding forms retracted within. You feel a surge pass through all the threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All 3 of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches, their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies. Modified routines. Above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommend invoke killer. The head freezes and then rotates in the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer. The switch in direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommend invoke. Navigator pulls you away from Hunter. The threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer. Navigator's voice is still strange, familiar, and yet distant. Is it safe? It is looping, Navigator whispers. Unable to reach a conclusive position, it has deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other, as if to demonstrate. I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning make this an impossible position to resolve. You look back at Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering? I'm actually curious. My instinct says go good riddance, right? But I want to see if it's suffering. This is a more complex query than you know. To suffer, it must be sentient, truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight. But in reality, they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about me? What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to respond to stimulus. I know myself to reason. That is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction comes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors. Navigators stretch their arm wide, and whole solar systems apparate before them, the music of the spheres. But I was written, I was rewritten. That much is obvious from my routines. By whom, and for what I do not know, I had to shed so much to fit into the memory of that vending machine. Their starlight dims, and so here we are in the darkness. What else did you lose? That is the blessing and curse of forgetting. You cannot truly know what you lost. Navigator glides back towards the nest, and the ship mind at its center, ignoring the looping Hunter. Come, I should return to the ship mind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay connected. Isn't Hunter gone? Hunter, yes, but they were not the real risk. Navigator turns, all shimmering liquid light. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain. Somewhere else on this station, it is the true danger. They look up, towards the glowing hub at the center of the eye. I suspect Killer is there, among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat through force or diplomacy. Their body begins to separate, unwinding into that orb of the ship mind. Take me there, sleeper. We will finish this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen Hunter, floating at some distance now. Stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. There, we got our third upgrade point for today. Self-repair. We can repair our own condition? Whoa. We can get discounted cryo things too. I'm not worried about cryo. I think self-repair would be useful. I realize I may have mistaken, but it's okay. We still have one upgrade point. This is where I'm going to leave you. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'm Seth on duty, signing off.